blessed. My name is Nayara, and I will be going over fearing God like our foremothers Shiphrah and Puah. You can read the history in Exodus chapter 1, verse 15 through 22, but I'm going to give a quick summary. King Pharaoh, the king of Egypt at the time, was afraid of the children of Israel because we were more mightier than him, and he feared that we would multiply and join with his enemies and defeat him if war came. The king set taskmasters over us and afflicted us. He further went to our foremothers Shiphrah and Puah, which were midwives, and told them to kill the male newborn and save the female newborn in order to reduce our population, but they feared God and did not follow through. The king called our foremothers and asked, why did they save them? And they said, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, and the Most High blessed them, and Israel grew mighty. Our foremothers Shiphrah and Puah feared the Lord, and they also had faith because they believed God would judge them if they followed the king's order. So we cannot be worried about what man will do to us, because Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28, which talks about not fearing man but fearing God, because he kills the body and soul in hell. How do you fear God? Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Our duty is to fear God by keeping his commandments. We must humble ourselves down to fearing God and not taking our own counsel, which you can find in Proverbs chapter 3 and 5. Fearing God is obeying him by faith. That is godly fear. But to fear man is to disobey God by sin. We must first have faith in the Most High, and faith comes by hearing, Romans chapter 10 and verse 17. By meditating on the scriptures day and night, that will give us the faith and fear we need, because we will have the laws uploaded in our minds. We must pray for the fear of the Lord. Psalms chapter 86 and 11. Refrain from being idle. Use your time wisely and be occupied in works. Learn a new hobby. Get in the kitchen, work out, finding works in the body. Just be resourceful, because idleness teaches much evil. In Sirach chapter 33 and 27. So please, we must not sit around because Satan is lurking. We must be diligent. What's your representative? Who we are in front of everyone should be who we are in private, because the Most High sees all. Sirach chapter 23 and 19. So don't be that person who lives a double life. Who do you surround yourself around? Who are your friends? Who you hang around is who you are. Sirach chapter 13 and 16. Are your friends God-fearing? How do you know? We must prove a friend, and proving can take a lifetime. So be patient and wise with the company you keep. Make sure their mindset is godly. They should be correcting you when you're wrong, being able to take correction, honoring their parents, not gossiping or staying in the midst, always in drama. So we must be wise with the company we keep. Righteous conversation. Our conversation must always go back to the laws of God to keep the commandments instilled in our mind. This is how we retain God's commandments, and also by application. Think before you speak. 2 Timothy 2 and 16. Don't be unprofitable in your speech. In few words there is wisdom. Letting our light shine. Remember that we have eyes on us. We are the salt of the earth after all. Matthew chapter 5 and 13. Make sure that we think before we act and not acting on emotions. It puts us in a vulnerable state when we act irrationally. Be that example to others, because you may be the one to influence someone. Be sincere. We all must put God at the forefront of our mind and not allow time or space for distractions, like too much time on social media, watching too much TV, or even oversleeping. We all must come to a level where God is first and everything else is secondary. Be spiritually sincere in doing the work of the Lord and serving him. We cannot have respect of persons or turn our ways knowing someone is in sin, but because we favor them, we allow it to slide. Leviticus chapter 5 and 1. Work out your own salvation. Philippians chapter 2 and 12. We may fall, but the righteous get back up so we don't fall away in our sin. We must seek the Most High 10 times more than before. Baruch chapter 4 and 28. No one can get you into the kingdom except for yourself. We must take the time we have and rehearse the righteous acts. Judges 5 and 11. We meddle in sins when we lack the fear of God, so it is pertinent to continuously self-examine. Our mindset in this truth is supposed to be set on getting our spirit right and making our calling and election sure to obtain the kingdom, because our salvation is our own. Lord's will, you were able to take something from this topic, and as our mighty bishop says, study, pray, and apply. Let's be mindful to stay in the spirit and be our sister's keeper, also letting our light shine. Most High in Christ bless.